Hello friends, welcome back to NRI Samay. As always, good to see you all on this Sunday, and today at NRI Samay I would like to deal with yet another topic that became a discussion point across the IT industry in India. TCS recently laid off a chunk of employees, and now these laid off people are fighting back, saying that it is unjust and unfair. The matter is even in few courts, especially in Chennai and Mumbai, and Rumour mill says that TCS is planning to sack 25,000 employees. In the meantime, an organization called FITE, Forum for IT Employees, popped up saying that it would give voice for the welfare and rights of IT and ITES employees, the information technology employees. So in the first half of this interview, I'll try to get an information on what the problem is so far as TCS layoffs is concerned. And the second half, we'll try to evaluate if creating these forums, unions, or NGO bodies does help the problem. So joining me now from Chennai is Senthil Kumar Tyagarajan, an ex-TCS employee until 2009 and then gave up for social activism, and also an FITE member from Chennai. Senthil, thank you for joining, sir, today.
Hi, Sridhar.
Yeah. So Senthil, first of all, sir, what is the exact count of laid-off employees according to you? Is it 1,500, 3,000, or 25,000, sir?
The exact count is not known to us right now. In various locations, people who have got affected have reached us over phone. So only after some time we would get an exact count.
All right. Sir, for the important question that anyone would ask is, isn't layoffs normal in these non-government undertaking companies in some form or the other? And since IT companies are private companies, do they not reserve the right to lay off people or employees, sir?
Actually, the technical meaning of layoff is, as per this act in India, when the company stops functioning. Normally in the manufacturing industry, when they go for a shutdown or due to market conditions, if they move from one place to other place, say Nokia in Chennai has gone for a shutdown and they moved and shifted to Vietnam. So in such cases, they declare it's a layoff, and there will be a massive layoff happening in that particular company. So technically, layoff is shutting down or stop functioning of the particular company. Whereas India, so when we come to IT industry during 2008-9, at the time during the recession, there were layoffs, sending employees out of the company. But whatever happening now, it's not it's neither one thing as TCS claims. It's an usual involuntary attrition which happens every year, annually and globally. That is also not true, and it is not a typical layoff as it happens in the other industry. The different sort of organizational restructuring which they want to do. Not out of fluctuations in the market or economic recession, they are doing this termination.
Okay. So there are two sides of this problem, right? When companies do not have the revenue, they cut the corners. End of the day, it's all business. So,
yeah.
And now when you're saying that TCS has got everything right, their revenues are overshooting and they're doing good, but still they're firing, and you're also saying that it's just that they're doing out of nowhere, So, but the other side of it, don't you think forcing companies to take back employees, which is genuine in few cases, but this practice of saying that you cannot lay off and also threatening companies and also suing them is a bad idea, sir? When do you say that a company's layoff is fair, and when do you say it is not fair? What's the line, sir?
I would say, suppose with the current understanding and the things, if there is a real collapse in the market, they couldn't identify the projects and they couldn't engage the resources. In such scenarios, if they lay off with the proper compensation, then that would be fair. Right. But in with the current scenario in TCS, one side they declare that they are going to hire 50,000 people who are freshers and less experienced people, they are going to recruit the coming months. The other side, they want to change, restructure the existing organizational structure and model. So that is where it is very unfair and unjust.
Right. So you're also bringing up a conversation about compensation, right? Which is very critical. When you let your employees go, then essentially you have to compensate them well even before you get them off the hook. But TCS is saying that these are non-performing employees as well, right? And 3 lakh employees work in TCS, and a chunk of 1,500 or 3,000 people are taken out for people who are not performing, right? And we know when we look at these government companies like HMT and all that has shut off by the government, we know for ages there were people who were not performing and things were going out of the back, right? So in 3 lakh employees taking out 1,500, 3,000 people saying that they are not performing well according to their expectation, is that not something the company should do, sir?
One thing is whatever the count TCS claims, TCS management claims that it is only 2,500, 3,000 count. That is not true. First thing. That they claim as an usual involuntary attrition, but that is not the case this time. Even if it would have happened in the last year, but that is not the case. And coming to this underperformer or non-performers question, what is happening currently is, because I need to put it in more simpler and clear terms. They are taking up last 3 years rating, and if some employee who are above ASP, designation assistant consultant, ASPs and above, if they had scored consecutive C, say the last 3 rating, the recent 2 ratings, if they have scored consecutive C performance span, then they are said as non-performers or underperformers, and they are sent out now. But when you see the definition for these performance band, C is the simple definition of C is meeting the expectation of the company, meeting the requirement. Even I am being ex-TCS, sir. Any employee in TCS would never imagine that a C rater would be termed as an underperformer. If you get D or E, that is less than meeting the expectations. If you score B or A in the performance plan, then it is overperforming and outstanding performance. So majority of the employees in every year will fall under the C performance plan. So this is the first time, as far as I know, and employees inside also right now, for them to hear that C rater is an underperformer and they are targeted and sent out if they are ASPs and above. So I would say it is a well-planned, systematic, targeted expulsion of the employees in the name of underperformance.
What would TCS have in their mind when they're laying off these people? So there's certainly no sense of aggression towards these employees or any sort of aversion towards employees, right? They just thought that there are few people that they want to get rid of, and then probably bringing new blood who can make a difference. Do you think there is a pattern to these employees being removed? Did you identify anything of that nature, sir?
Yeah, the pattern is very true. It is ASPs and above. People who are more than 7 years and 7 years experience, and from the insiders they say, a set of criteria are there. They use that criteria to decide whether this employee has to be thrown out or not. One is this consecutive C rater, 2 C rater in the last 3 ratings, and at least 1 D rater in the last 3 ratings. And then if he is a consultant or principal consultant, and that particular employee is not playing a solution provider role, then that employee is identified for sending out. And if the number of the reportees are not enough for that particular employee, if he is playing a role of a designation of associate consultant, then they are identified for moving out. Like that, some criteria are there. basically decide the number of ASPs and above to be removed from one particular account. So to match that number, they identify the employees within that bank, designation bank. So
Right.
there is a pattern, and whoever have reached us over phone and we talk to them, that pattern is true.
Okay. So
And even in the
go ahead.
till in the open media, Chandra and Ajay Mukherjee and other HRs in various locations have said that it's a normal involuntary attrition. They didn't say from which level of people have been moved. Whereas in the recent two cases, which is writ filed in the Supreme Court, the counter petition filed by TCS for those petitions, where they have mentioned that yes, we remove, a few employees at the managerial level have been moved out of the company. In that counter petition, they have mentioned that whom they are moving out at this point of time. They say managerial level, that's nothing but ASPs and above. The same counter petition, they mentioned that an ASP is a managerial cadre. They are mentioning in another place, and then some other place in the same counter petition or counter affidavit, they have mentioned that yes, we are removing the managerial cadre. So from that, and in the open media, they didn't say whom they are targeting. They simply say underperformers are sacked, and it's a normal process. In the counter petition, it has come out that this employees at this level have been targeted.
Sir, my other question is, were the employees given a fair compensation, sir? What do you think about that? Who were taken out?
Compensation,
end of the day, because they lose their livelihood, right? You dump them there.
Yeah.
They don't have anywhere to go, right? So it hurts their livelihood, right?
That's what I mean is, if it had been a different scenario, like if it's a recession and very difficult in finding projects, TCS is having losing its revenue. In a different scenario, in such cases, I think there is a point in discussing on this compensation question. But for this specific scenario, for this case, I don't think it's a point of. There is a point in discussing on the whether it's a decent compensation package or not. It's more about job for the affected employees now.
Right. Okay. Sir, I understand you have at FITE sent out a petition to PMO. I think 8,000 signatures or even more. Can you explain what are your expectations from the PMO, sir? What would the Prime Minister's office do in this case?
The topmost, we have addressed it to the Prime Minister's office, but I think the Parliamentary Standing Committee for the specific IT department, they could take a policy decision on monitoring the terminations of employees in IT industry.
Okay.
But right now there is no any monitoring body. There is nothing like that to check what is happening, whether these happenings are fair or not, or they are justful or not. Nothing is there. There is no such mechanism there, which is coming under the controlling mechanism of government.
Sir, I live in the U.S. right now, and I don't know whether there are such procedures, policies, and practices in the United States when companies are taking out people. Do you have any idea about that, sir?
In U.S., I don't have much idea, but I have one case which has happened for one case study which happened for TCS itself on this question of bonded labor, when people who got deputed into deputations on-site, at that time TCS would go for an agreement. Okay, when you go to on-site, you need to stick to the company, you need to be in the company for this many months, and in between you cannot move to some other company. Some agreements were there, and that is for that case there is a case happened. I could send the details over mail. There is a case study, and there is one case happened in US. With TCS. But I'm not much aware about labor laws in US which monitors the termination of employees.
Okay. So now the matter has reached the courts. What are courts saying, sir?
The recent, there were two writ petitions filed in Madras High Court, and one writ petition for 2 employees in Hyderabad, and two writ petitions collectively for 9 employees in Mumbai High Court. These were the 3 high courts where writs were filed. But whereas Madras, the writ petition is meant more about getting an interim order for a stay for this termination for a couple of weeks. In the meantime, the labor officer should get into a conciliation process between the employer and the employee, that is TCS and the affected employee who raised the dispute. So these are the 2 simple plea in front of the Madras High Court. So the 2 writs, for both the 2 writs which have been filed, Madras High Court has given an order for labor officer to immediately start the conciliation process. And similarly, the High Court has given an order to TCS to maintain the status quo until the conciliation process ends.
And the conciliation process started, right?
Yeah, conciliation process, they have given labor officer has given a date on February 5 for the second employee. Whereas in the case of first employee, she is a pregnant lady. So as soon as the stay order has been passed, TCS has filed a counter petition, but parallel TCS has given a letter to the Honorable Judge in the Madras High Court that they would take back that employee into the company. They revoked the termination letter, saying that as this is an exceptional case that she is pregnant right now, TCS doesn't have practice of moving out pregnant ladies, so they took her back.
Oh, so
for the other person, conciliation is planned to happen on February 5. Until then, the termination is stayed on.
Huh. This is really unfortunate. Is this true that if women are pregnant, a lot of these companies take out women from the workforce? Sir? Is there a pattern to this?
I am not certain about that pattern, but there is a pattern, alarming pattern in the current termination in TCS with respect to women. That is, young mothers are vulnerable targets in this termination. Because, as I said earlier, if they are a consecutive seriator, then they are identified for this termination process. Provided, if they are above the ASPs and above. Normally, when a woman employee go for a maternity leave, they can avail a leave for 90 days. Yes.
Okay.
So, if they avail 90 days leave in a year, either they are going for they are yet to go for a maternity leave, or they have come back from the maternity leave. Quoting this as a reason, there is a practice in the industry that you have gone for a maternity leave, so you will get a only default rating for this year. It would be C if she has overperformed. Otherwise, it would be 50% of the time, and it would be a D rating for them. So, due to this reason, many women who are above ASPs and young mothers got affected in the termination itself. We have some examples in Bangalore and Delhi and Hyderabad and Chennai, these locations. So to conclude, to summarize this, young mothers are vulnerable targets in this termination.
Wow. So when most of the times in the news press releases we see more talking about TCS, are you working on any other companies that are firing people, sir?
There is recently last week, one company, I don't remember the name right now, a small company in Powai, Coimbatore. Some 200 employees are sacked, but we were just, we got one contact over there, so we are working on how to facilitate them in this case.
Okay. Sir, after this whole process of going to courts, lobbying with so many people around and also, bringing a lot of awareness. Did TCS take back any employees after all this protest? And how many employees? Of course, the court you mentioned about one case about the court. Do you hear of any cases that TCS has taken back few employees? Do you have any numbers?
I don't have any number. But we heard that due to this quarterly result, before this last quarter results have been released, 1 week before that, there is a slowdown in this process. Right now also there is a slowdown due to so many campaign protests going outside and unrest were there. So they have slowed down. That is one thing we are getting from the insiders.
Okay. Sir, on the website FITE.org.in, you have a survey form, right, sir? Can you share some insights on what sort of survey is this and what have we learned from that survey, sir?
We have launched the survey some 3 days before. Till now, 100 have filled that survey.
Uh-huh.
I didn't go for a pattern analysis in that. The survey is intended to understand more on the pattern and to get some concrete numbers from the affected people. But right now I don't study the pattern. Just 3 days it has happened.
Got it. So now let's talk about FITE as an organization, sir. So do you look at FITE as just a forum where volunteers get together and help IT employees? Or is this forum heading towards forming a union, sir? Is FITE a sort of trade union for IT or ITES employees? Is it legal to have such a forum?
FITE is now forum of IT employees as intended to network among the IT employees, ITES employees across India in various locations. So right now we are attempting to do that only, forming a network and discussing on the existing issues. Just come up with a forum where people get together, and these are the attempts which we are doing right now. And so we need to discuss more on the issues, how we can arrive at an optimal solution for this, how we can improve the existing situation. That is the attempt. For your other question, that is it legal to form trade unions in IT industry? As far as we know, there is nothing. There is no, in the legal terms, there is nothing unlawful in forming trade unions in IT industry. Okay. The current attempts which we are doing now is to form a network at this moment among the IT employees to discuss and address more on the existing issues, especially on this termination threat.
Got it.
Happening now.
Sir, I've also seen that there are some generic trade unions like CITU and BMS, Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh. They're including into this matter, and they seem to be joining the protests as well. What is your opinion about these trade unions intruding into this IT sector, sir? Do they really understand the nature of these IT problems?
Yeah, I would say CITU. They would have understood that. They have they're gaining more understanding with the new issues coming over there. I think they would have. I don't think they would have lack of understanding in it.
Okay. So coming to this software lobby, right, NASSCOM and others, do you guys ever had any sort of consultations or discussions with them? What do they say, sir? Earlier they stepped in many different crisis situations like Satyam Computers and all, right?
Yeah. So the problem is with respect to NASSCOM and TCS also, when some sort of discussions flaring outside the campuses in social media and some social media or in the outside also, if something happening like this, they immediately bounce into the question of they are attempting to form unions. I don't know why they are so frightened towards any such discussions happening outside about the industry. So that sounds very that's very unhealthy environment prevailing over here among the employers and NASSCOM. It's all about the question of if I had continued in TCS, I would also be an associate consultant by this time. So it's all about the question of people who have served in that company for more than a decade, or they started their career in TCS, spent 7-8 years there. The question of continuing their employment over it's a very genuine question. And when one fine day when they have been called by HR and said that our resource matrix is not matching, so you need to leave the next 30 days. So obviously there will be a unrest inside TCS and outside also. So that is what is happening now. But NASSCOM or TCS also immediately they start talking about this is an attempt to form union. Not attempt to form union, but that's the situation prevails here.
So also FITE arranged an expert panel discussion recently, right? Fact-finding on TCS layoffs and broader labor implications. And a lot of experts expressed their opinions. Can you summarize that, sir? What did they express?
They are yet to come up with a report on the coming Wednesday. So due to last week there were few holidays, and they are for them also they are from MIDS, from research school is here in Chennai, and from senior journalists and an activist and professors from IIT, and they are part of the panel. So it takes some time to come out of the report. I think with the version of reports which are going on between them, the current stage, it speaks more on the in the existing process of appraisal system, and the some documentations on the affected versions of affected employees whom they interacted with, and the implications of employees at this stage coming out of the company. So I think they are concentrating on those areas, and they have some recommendations to government too.
Okay. So also, I think in the outset, the whole process is getting murkier. I have also come across some audio files of HR exit interviews where the HR says that the employee is not taken out because of underperforming and various other reasons, but rather there are more reasons behind the whole story of an employee being taken out. Does these recordings make any difference in getting justice, sir, or do you feel it is getting murkier and also in a bad situation?
No, the recordings are that recording has been heard by lakhs of people,
right?
And it has been a live recording like that. Even some petitions wouldn't have reached so many people,
right?
But that has come out. However, in the counter petition filed by TCS, they have mentioned that there is a fair evaluation process and there is a fair exit process, and there is they have mentioned exit discussions in plural has happened before sending these people out, like that. So many things they have mentioned, fair.
Right.
But this audio recording is one such example of the so-called fair exit discussion which is being happened across various locations in TCS.
All right.
That is not making it murky, because the said reason that underperformers are all faculty employees are underperformers is not true. So that is coming out of that particular audio conversation. It's more about organizational restructuring. That's what TCS said in the first week of December. When things were getting more complex, they said that no, it is not restructuring or something new, unusual. It is a usual involuntary process. And now in the counter petitions, they say different things. So as they start telling different things one after other, things will get murkier only.
Yeah. And finally, sir, do you know how many men and how many women were fired in this whole process? Or do you have any sort of such numbers?
No, we don't have such concrete numbers.
Okay, got it. So, Senthil, thank you very much for your time and your opinion, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So, friends, that was Senthil from the FITE Chennai team talking about the IT layoffs and the lines that they feel needs to be drawn as far as hiring and firing of these employees are concerned. Especially, they're focusing on firing of these employees. Well, the mass layoffs under the name of underperformance hurts the future of these laid-off employees. many other reasons these forums are fighting for. The bigger question is, are we witnessing an end of an IT golden age, or is just business as usual? I'm sure this debate on IT companies having the right procedures, policies, and practices are very, very essential. It's also important for the companies to have realistic freedom in terms of handling the business. Catch-22 situation for sure, but we'll keep talking about this as we move forward. For now, this is Srikanth signing off, and please do come back every Saturday and Sunday again, 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, 9:30 p.m. India time. And you can also watch us on Facebook, facebook.com/NRI Samay, Twitter, twitter.com/NRI Samay. Listen to all our earlier recordings, youtube.com/NRI Samay. So have a good weekend, friends. Thank you. Bye.